Now then YouTube, I'm the TOFF Man and welcome back to some more Thaumcraft 5 complete guide. We are still in the Artifice tab, but we will be finishing that off today to 100%. That is another addition actually guys, I forgot to mention this previously. You can see how far through a tab that you've managed to find. Artifice, well I've got everything because I've got the cheat book, but that's besides the point. Artifice is now at 100%. So last episode we went through the infusion and that's actually changed a little bit, okay? And it's changed quite a lot with infusion boosting as well. But this episode, we're going to go through some of the stuff that you can do with the infusion altar and some of the things that you can create. The first thing that we'll look at, guys, is the brain in a jar. This thing has been around since God knows when. It really has been around for a very long time in Thaumcraft 5, in Thaumcraft in general. You've discovered a way to reanimate a zombie brain and put it to your own dark uses. It retains some of the hunger it possessed as a zombie, and while it cannot consume brains, it still enjoys eating the thoughts and experiences of those slain nearby. Giving its jar a good shake will make it surrender some of its ill-gotten gains for your own use. Particle effects will be displayed above a jar when it's full. Yeah, that must be new, because I haven't seen that before. Zombie brain, 2 spider eyes, and a water bucket with a water jar. It's actually pretty cheap for what this thing can do. So the brain in a jar, guys. Let's go ahead and grab it. You can see how ugly it looks. Ugh. Now then, right clicking it doesn't do anything. But when you kill something around here, or any kind of experience, if you're smelting, if you're doing anything with the Thaumcraft furnace, you know that thing, the infernal furnace over there, it drops experience when you smelt. This thing will go ahead and suck up that experience and keep it stored so that it doesn't just disappear and you never get that that kind of that ledgeness. You never get that XP. You want that ledgeness, guys. And you can go ahead and just right click it and it will wobble it around the place and so it will give you the experience back. It's a very, very useful brain indeed. I like it. It's a good brain. So moving on then, guys. Runic Shielding. This is a massive thing in Thaumcraft, and it was in Thaumcraft 4, Runic Shielding. Your research into protective magics have led you to discover Runic Shielding. This is not armor in the traditional sense, but a collection of charms, rings, and similar protective baubles worn with your everyday clothes. I do apologise, guys. These devices create a barrier of magical energy that wards out most types of damage. The shielding has a pool of hit points, from which damage is subtracted first, protecting the wearer from all harm. Once this pool is depleted, the wearer starts taking damage as normal. The pool replenishes over time and requires Terror and Air Vis to replenish its charge, which it draws from the aura. The armor offers no protection from damage suffered due to drowning, starvation, or similar environmental hazards. Due to its nature, the armor cannot be enchanted by normal means, but you are sure there are ways to improve its effectiveness. You just need to discover them. Well, guys, you can actually make Runic Ring of Shielding with the following recipe, the Amulet of Runic Shielding with the following recipe, and the Gerdic. I don't know what a Gerdic is, but it sounds like something from Norway. The Girdle of Runic Shielding, which you can get as follows. And there are ways to actually improve it. Now you can see there that plus 10 to Runic Shield, which basically is the pool of hit points, basically. So, if we go back, you can improve it even more. Specialized Runic Baubles, okay? Charged Ring of Shielding. This specialized version of the Ring of Shielding, so you need that to craft it in the first place, it has a slightly less charge than the ring it is based on, but increases the recharge time of Runic Shielding by 25%. You can wear more than one of these rings, effectively halving the normal recharge time, which is pretty good, but you get less of the Runic Shield. You get 5 from that, you get 4 from that, but it does give you half of the recharge time. Okay? Oh no, hang on a minute. It gives you 25% of the recharge time. Okay. And the Revitalized Ring of Shielding has slightly less charge than the ring it's based on. Release a pulse of regenerative energy that will last for a few seconds. This effect cannot trigger more than once every 20 seconds. So as you can see, you get less Runic Shield, but it does allow you to get that regenerative energy when your Runic Shielding has been breached. Let's go forwards. Kinetic... Oh, hang on a minute. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Kinetic Girdle of Shielding gets a Runic Shield of plus 9, so you get slightly less, but when your shielding is breached by a detonation of kinetic energy... hang on a minute. But when your shielding is breached, a detonation of kinetic energy will be released, damaging and shoving anything back nearby. This effect cannot trigger more than once every 20 seconds. Next on the list, the Amulet of Emergency Shielding, +7 to Runic Shield, whereas obviously the first one is +8. But when your shielding is breached, this upgrade will instantly add 8 charge to your shielding amount. This effect cannot trigger more than once a minute. And those are the different types of, specialized runic stuff that you can get. The other thing is Runic Shielding Augmentation. It's still not well, and it's doing my head in. But this thing, guys, is pretty awesome, okay? Rings, amulets, and girdles with Runic Shielding is all good and well, but surely you can apply this protective enchantment to other things. Of course you can, by utilizing magic of thaumaturgy, copyright, patent pending, you are able to add Runic Shielding to most magically stable pieces of armor. Magically stable items are those crafted from thaumium, enchanted fabric, or similarly magical materials. Only a single charge of Runic Shielding is added to the item, but you can enchant an item multiple times. This is expensive. It really is expensive, guys, when you get to the higher echelons. This is expensive, and the amount of ingredients and essentia required will increase with each level. The Salis Mundis required will equal the level of shielding you want, and the essentia cost will increase exponentially. You can enchant existing runic items like Rings of Shielding as well. However, the cost is calculated based on their existing runic charge, making it an exceptionally expensive process. It really is exceptionally expensive. Really, honestly, guys, I cannot stress that enough. So you can see we've got the normal, the Ring of... no, hang on a minute, not a ring at all. Thaumaturgy's ropes. Now you can start with the 1, and you can put Runic Shielding on by putting a diamond and Salis Mundis on there as well. And with each Runic Shield that you put on, you can't just go ahead and start sticking 5 Runic, Salis Mundis on there straight away. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have to do the first one, then the second one, then the third one, and so on and so forth. And eventually, you can get that Runic Shielding added to your Thaumaturgy's robes. You can also do it with, I'm pretty sure that you can do it with anything. By utilizing the magic of Thaumaturgy, most magically stable pieces of armor. So this says Thaumaturgy's robes, but I'm pretty sure that you can put it on anything Thaumaturgy's, and also all of the stuff that it says here, like enchanted thaumium, enchanted fabric, or similarly magical materials. And that is the Runic Shielding Augmentation. Again, like it said, you can use it on the rings, but it's really expensive, guys. It honestly is. The Magic Mirror, or the Mirror Magic, should I say. You are now able to enchant a pair of magical mirrors that act as doorways to the void between worlds. Anything shoved, or piped, through one mirror will pass through this realm and emerge from the other mirror, even across dimensional boundaries. Unfortunately, this realm is extremely hostile to mortal creatures like yourself, so using these mirrors to transport living creatures is not yet possible. To link a pair of these magical mirrors, you simply need to place one of them in a desired location, then right-click with the second mirror on the one you placed, and the pair will become linked. I will show you in a second, guys, don't you worry. You may then place a second wherever you wish, and items thrown into one will be ejected out of the other. Mirrors can only be linked in pairs, so while both are placed in the world and able to transmit items, you cannot link them to another mirror. When you pick up a mirror, it will remember the last partner it was linked with, allowing you to easily move it without having to relink it. While one of the paired mirrors is picked up, you may easily relink either of them. So you can make these with 3 golden ingots, the mirrored glass, and an ender pearl. It's pretty cheap to be able to go ahead and make. Transporting items through mirrors places stress on the magical aura. Every now and again, this causes flux to be generated. The more items you transport, the more flux is generated. Pretty obviously there, guys. So let's get a couple of magic mirrors. And there we go. A couple of these things. And I'll show you exactly what happens. And I'll also put it on... There we go. We're getting these thaumic slimes. We've got... Oh, my God. We have got some taint, guys. We've got a taint problem going on over here. My goodness gracious me. Something's going on. It's that thing there, look. It's the sinister node that's making a real issue over here. My goodness. Okay, we're going to have to start getting some... you know what? No, we're not. I should have one kicking... Do I not have one kicking around? Oh, there they are, look. They're over here. There we go. Let's start getting some ethereal blooms in here. My goodness. Making a right mess of my place. What are you doing? Stop it. I can't believe it. It's all over my bloody jars as well. Get out of it, boys. Jeez. Honestly, can't take it anywhere. Okay, that should help out at least. Here we go. Okay, ooh. Right, anyways, where was I? Magic mirrors. So I'm going to go ahead and put one on the floor right there, and I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a couple of sandstone blocks and put one on the floor there. Sorry, the thing there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself out of creative mode and show you how this actually works. You get one mirror, you link it to that one, and now you can see we've got that one. It says it's linked to that mirror right there. We'll go ahead and pop it on the wall over here, and now you can see there is a hole that goes from one to the other. And I can chuck something in, and it'll pop out there. And that is basically how this whole thing works. Okay, guys? It's pretty ledge. It is pretty nice, especially for transporting items over a long distance. And that is mirror magic. Well, there's a couple of other bits and bobs that you can do as well. Essentia Mirrors are pretty goddamn awesome. Magical mirrors are very useful for transporting items over long distances, but what if the same principle can be applied to Essentia? You think you've discovered a way to do just that. Essentia Mirrors, like their name implies, can transport Essentia in the same way that magic mirrors transport items. There are a few important limitations, however. You cannot pipe Essentia directly into the mirrors. They are only able to transport Essentia that has been drawn from a source towards something like an infusion matrix. In effect, the mirrors allow these things to draw Essentia from sources via the mirror. Like item mirrors, these mirrors cause great stress on the magical aura and will generate flux. So anyways, this works exactly like what it says in the tin, guys. You can go ahead and put it above your where is it? There we go. You can go ahead and put it above your infusion setup right here, and then put it next to a load of jars, and it will pull straight out of the mirror that's above the infusion there, and pull from the jars that are in a different place. Rather than having all the jars around it like what I've got here, that is how it will work. The other thing is a magical hand mirror. Works pretty much exactly the same as the normal item mirrors. This magical hand mirror functions much the same way as the other magical mirrors. You simply push items through the glass and they will pop out at a linked mirror. Simply right click while holding the linked hand mirror and you will be able to place any items in your inventory into the looking glass to have them transported. The hand mirror can be linked to a mirror that is already paired with another. It should be noted that the hand mirror can only send items, not receive them. So a magic mirror, an empty map, a compass and a stick, and you will get the magic hand mirror. Just hold it in your hand, guys, pop an item through, make sure you link it first to one of the mirrors, and you can just pop items through and it will pop out of the mirror that you've linked to it, which I think is pretty awesome, guys. Well, I've got to say that is going to be it for the Artifice tab. In the next video, we're going to start going through Golemancy. Now, please be aware that golems are not fully implemented yet. And I'm pretty sure this tab will change over time once things get updated. And don't worry, once things get updated, I will be doing videos and updates on all of this stuff as well, as it comes out. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this particular episode. Don't forget that in the description below you can find timestamps to all of the different things that I've explained in today's episode. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, I've been the TOFF Man. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.